Okay guys, so today we are going to discover the next generation of WordPress theme, and we are so excited to announce the brand new Nexter theme, and it is a game changer. And why is that, you may ask? Well, let me answer that with a question. What is the first thing that you do once you've installed a theme? Well, usually most of us would immediately start downloading additional plugins that you need to make the theme work. And this is where Nexter theme is a game changer, as all the essential plugins are already built in. Like, for instance, self-hosted Google fonts, or indeed any fonts, which means more control, fewer server requests, zero reliance on third-party scripts, and greater security. And Google reCAPTCHA. Often this is one of the first plugins people install, but no longer. With Nexter, you have complete spam protection right from the start. So what about post or page duplicator, or replace URL or text replacement? With Nexter, you have all the convenience and efficiency at your fingertips. And then right-click disable as well, which is a handy feature to stop plagiarism by protecting your content. And of course, it is also fully optimized for performances and security. So as you can see, Nexter is an amazing theme that brings you peace of mind by adding nitty-gritty missing features. And this is our vision to redefine WordPress from the ground up and make your life easier. My name is Dave. Now don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel as we upload new videos each week. And also, please feel free to share this with your Facebook communities so that all of your friends can learn more about Nexter theme. Very good. So let's get started. Okay, so welcome to our WordPress dashboard. So a quick reminder, we've created chapters on this video just to make it easy for you to go from one to the other. So if you want to skip to a specific chapter, please use the timestamps in the description below. And now let's discover our Nexter dashboard. So for this, we go to Appearance, Nexter Settings, and from here we have a complete overview of our essential settings. As you can see, with all our related products, you can share a review. If you need help, you can click here and raise a ticket immediately. You can check for updates. You have your minimum system requirements. So if the system requirements are not met, you will have a red tick mark here, and you can copy the info or you can download a file all together. Also, if you're not yet subscribed to our channel, you can subscribe from here immediately. And if we scroll back up here, as you can see, we have a Stay Updated section, so you can enter your email address and subscribe to our newsletters, as we share WordPress news, speed and security tips, and product updates, and even more. Okay, so let's start with our first step. So if it's your first time installing this theme, you'll have to click on Import here, and then select your page builder. As you can see, you can select among three different options: Gutenberg, Elementor, or Beaver Builder. So let's click on Elementor, for instance, and let's click Next. And then you have to activate those two extensions here, the plus add-ons for Elementor and Nexter extension, or the plus add-ons for Gutenberg, depending on which step you selected prior to this one, okay? And then click Next. And then you can build up your template and basic post. Click Next. And that's basically it. It's all done already, as you can see, successfully completed. And now we can take care of the additional steps. And for this, we go to Extra Options. And let's take care of our very first one, which is Adobe Fonts. So for this, we need to enable it first. And next to it, we can take care of our settings. So let's click on this. And as you can see, it's requesting a project ID. So what we need to do now is to click on this. It will open up a new window here. And from here, you have to log in into your Adobe account. So let's click Continue. And normally you should have all the fonts that you've added to your account. But now if you haven't done so, you can click on Web Project, click Learn More. And from here, you can select any of those fonts and add them to your web project. So let's say we wanted to add this one here. You click on View Family. And as you can see by the side, we have Add to Web Project. Let's click on this. And now we need to give it a name, Create. And right up from here, as you can see, we have URL, and part of it is our code, our project ID. So you can either copy it from here, and we'll click Done. So either that, or you can click on Manage Fonts, click on Web Projects, And as you can see right here, we have the project ID as well. So either way, it will work fine. So you can keep adding more fonts to your project, obviously. And then you go back to your WordPress dashboard and enter the project ID right here. And then click Get Font. And there you go. As you can see, we have the 2 fonts that we just added to our project now built into our website. So let's put this to the test. So let's copy and paste this and let's open a new Elementor page. So let's add anything, maybe a heading here, just like this. And if we go to Style, select Typography, select our font, and let's look for that font. And as you can see, Maecenas is there, Maecenas and Maecenas Heavies. So as you can see, we can select our font. So now it is built into our WordPress installation. So let's go back to our settings here. Okay, so next let's take care of the Google fonts. So let's enable this. Let's select our settings. And now we can add any Google fonts that we want. So let's add, for instance, Poppins, which is a very popular one. There you go. Now click Add option. And now we have Poppins added to our website. So that means that now Poppins is self-hosted. So this is good for performance and fully GDPR compliance as well, because there is no third-party external server call. And now let's click Save. And again, as always, let's put this to the test. So let's go to our front end. Let's refresh. Now we can right click, inspect, and let's go to network and let's run a search for Poppins. And there it is. As you can see, the library is being loaded, WOFF2. And if you click on this, you can clearly see that this is Poppins. So basically this is self-hosted on our server now, which is very good for performances. And now we can close this. So next we have a custom upload font. So you can upload literally any font that you find on the net. So let's go to this website here as an example, dafont.com. It's a very popular one. So you can look for any font that you want. So we found one here, Best Valentina, which is quite suitable for this example here. So all you have to do is to download this file. So download, save this on your hard drive. And then now we can go back to our settings here. So we enable this, settings. And as you can see here, we have 2 different options, single font upload or variable font upload. So let's say your font comes in different variations like thin, bold, extra bold, and black. You can either import one single font or all the variations of that font. So let's go ahead with the single font import to save on performances. So let's click on this. Now we can enter the font name. So it was called Best Valentina. And now let's choose a file. So upload file, select file. There it is. Open, and now select. There you go. And as you can see, now you can select your variations. So you have thin, extra light, regular, medium, semi-bold. So you can add them singularly one by one. So let's say you're going to use only bold. We can add another variation. Again, select the same file. And now we can add our second variation. So let's say you're going to only use bold and extra bold. There you go. These are the only true variations that you want. Now let's save our font. And now, as always, let's put this to the test. So let's go back to our page, our heading here. So let's go to typography and let's look for this one. So this one is called Best. And as you can see, we have Best Valentina. And there you go. Our font is now self-hosted on our server. So now we can close this. And next we have our disable admin settings. So let's enable this together. Let's click on the settings. And this one is pretty self-explanatory. It's basically to hide some of the information that usually pop up in your backend on your dashboard. So as you can see, we have hide plugin update notification, hide admin notices, and so on. So you can enable all of them if you want a complete peace of mind. There you go. But one that's very handy is this one, hide front-end admin bar. So basically, when you load your website, you always have the top bar here. If you enable this, basically it will hide it all together. So let's click save. There you go. Let's go back here and let's refresh. And as you can see, now it is hidden and it's the same with most of the features in the backend. So next we have the Google reCAPTCHA. So let's enable this together as well. Let's go to our settings. And from here, as you can see, you can select among 3 different versions, version 2 invisible, and we just added the latest version, which is version 3. And now we need to add our side key and the secret key. So how can we get access to this? All you have to do is click on the information bubble here and click Get Key. And this is going to bring you to this website here. So from here, all you have to do is add your domain name right here. Select V2 or V3. I would highly recommend you select V3 and then add your domain name. So right there, put your domain name, scroll down the page, take accept reCAPTCHA terms and then submit. And there you go. Now we have our two keys. Now we can copy them. So copy the first one here and then paste it here and do the same with the secret one. Copy and then paste. And now you can enable reCAPTCHA for all these sections on your website: login form, registration forms, reset password form, and comment forms. After this, you can click save. And that's it. We're all done already. Next, we have the replace URL section. So let's click on settings. And this is a very handy feature if you want to move from staging to production site. All you have to do is put the old URL right here. So this could be your subdomain, and then type in your new URL right there. And as you can see, this could be your main URL then. And all you have to do is click on replace, and all these instances will be replaced automatically in your database. So next we have our duplicate post. So let's enable this. Let's open our settings. And as you can see, we have full control over the outcome. So who can duplicate, post date, post author, etc., etc. So you can even add postfix and circ text. So let's say we're going to put test here and test again. So let's save this. And now let's try this together. So for this, let's go to our pages. So let's select a random page, so maybe the checkout page right here, and we're going to duplicate this. So let's click duplicate page, and you can select how many times you want to duplicate it. So let's duplicate this maybe 3 times, okay? So let's click duplicate. And now as you can see, we have 3 additional pages, and they all have test as a suffix and also a number. So test 1, test 2, test 3. So this is how this works. And finally, we have the branded WordPress admin, which is coming soon. So this will allow you to white label WordPress completely with custom WordPress admin pages and your agency logo with your brand colors. Okay, so let's go back to our menu section here and let's discover our performance tab. And right here, as you can see, you have 2 different options. So the first one here is the advanced performance. So let's click on settings. And from here, you can disable some features, for instance, emoji scripts, dash icons, maybe RSS feed. So let's put this one to the test, maybe RSS feed. So if we go back to our home page here and we add /feed, it will load our feed. There you go. So this is the content of our feed. Now, if we go back here and disable this, so let's enable this and this one as well. Let's click save. And now let's go back to our front page and let's add /feed and let's load our page. And as you can see, this time it is not loading. So basically this script is deactivated now. And you can do the same with all these different features. And if you don't know what these are for, you have an info box right here. Just hover on top and you'll have all the information, okay? And our next feature is disable comments, which is a very, very handy feature indeed. So as you can see, you can disable them for posts, for media, for products, maybe for pages and landing pages. And when these are enabled, your visitors won't be able to post comments anymore. And the good thing is it's also good for spams. So you won't get any more spam emails through your comment section. So let's click save. And that's basically it. And now let's discover our security features. So let's click on this. Okay, so let's discover our first panel here, Advanced Security. So let's click on Settings. And here we have 4 different options. So basically here we can harden our security step by step. So the first option here, XML RPC, basically this applies when you're using Jetpack or WordPress mobile app, but in most cases it's not required, so you can disable it for security purposes. Our next one here is to hide WordPress version. Again, this is good for hardening your security. We have here disable REST API. So this is if you run a script for admin only, then you can disable it for non-admin or non-logged in users, as you can see here. So this is another option, and the same feature here for REST API links. Once you're done, don't forget to click save. And next we have the content protection. So let's click on settings. And as you can see, we have quite a few options here that you can disable. So we're not just going to cover 2 or 3 of them maybe. So let's have a look maybe at disable right click here. So if I go on our website here, I could right click here and maybe save the image if I wanted to, or I can inspect the code as well. So if you wanted to disable this, all you have to do is to click on this, click save. Now let's go back to our page. Let's refresh. And if I right click, as you can see, it's saying, warning, this function is disabled. So this is one of them. And the next one, you might want to disable Control-C. Maybe you don't want people to copy the content of your website. So if you click save, and again, if you put this to the test, so let's refresh. And now if I hit Control-C, as you can see, we get the warning message. This function is disabled as well. Now, another feature that's very often used is the F12 key. So if I hit F12 now, it's going to bring us to the developer tool. So you can see all the code here and all the CSS code and so on. So you might want to disable this as well. So for this, we scroll down all our options. It's at the very bottom. And as you can see, we have disabled F12. So let's do this. Let's save again. Let's go back to our page. Let's refresh. And I'm going to hit the F12 key. And as you can see, we get a warning again. And you can also customize your message. So as you can see here, notice style. So you can display top right or bottom right. And then you can also define how long it will display or stay on top. And then you can change everything. So let's say if you wanted to change the border color or maybe the background color, let's add a border color here perhaps. So let's select maybe a red color, make it more vivid. So there you go, a vibrant red. Okay. And let's click save. Now let's go and have a quick look and let's refresh again. And I'm going to hit the F12 key. And there you go. As you can see, now we have a red frame all around it. And all aspects of this message can be customized. The title color, the icon color, description color, and so on and so on. So it's a very handy feature, again, to protect your website. So let's click save. We can close this now. And then we have custom login URL. So normally to access your WordPress dashboard, you would type in /WP admin. Here you can customize this to whatever you want. So let's say perhaps Nexter_login, and then we can save this. And now let me open this in an incognito page. Very good. So let's put this to the test. So if I type WP admin, enter, as you can see, now we have an error message. Sorry, the page you were looking for does not exist. And now if you replace WP admin with our own string, enter. There you go. Now we have access to our login panel. So let's go back to our settings. So you can either display your own message like we have at the moment. You can redirect to the home page or a 4-page template. And the last security feature is the two-factor authentication, so 2FA, which is a very popular one. And as you can see, this one is coming soon. So next we have the white label feature. So what is this one about? Well, basically, if we go to the theme section here, as you can see, if I hover on top, you have the name here, Nexter. If I click on the theme details, you have all the name, the description, etc., and even the image here. Now you can customize all these to your personal branding. So how can we do so? Well, basically right here, if we change the name to something else. So let's put a brand name here. So let's put my name, David maybe, and the theme's names would be Dave's Theme. Here we can have a description. So I'm just going to put here description, okay, and then the developer or the agency. So let's say David Ltd. We have a website, www.dave.com, let's say, okay, and you can also upload an image and then an icon and so on. So I'm just going to save this now. So let's click on this, and then let's go back to our theme and let's refresh. There you go. And now, as you can see, the name of our theme is Dave's Theme. Right here in the menu section, you have David settings. Okay. If you click on the theme details, we have the description right here and so on and so on. As you can see, this is by David Limited. And this is basically how you can customize this to fit your own branding. And finally, one last thing I'd like to show you about Nexter is the Nexter Builder feature. So if you click on this, as you can see right here, you can create your own template. So it's a bit like Elementor. Basically, when you buy Elementor Pro, you can create your own templates and design your website the way you want it and customize it fully. It is the same way with Nexter Builder, except that Nexter Builder has a few additional features. So if we create a new one here, for instance, And then let's give it a title, for instance, Nexter test page. And then we can move to the next step, which is to select a layout. So what is this template for? Is it a section? Is it a page? Or do you want to insert code snippets? So if it's a section, as you can see, you can create a header, a footer, breadcrumbs, or hooks all together. So these are codes, again, that you can add on top of the rest of the structure of your website. You can create pages, for instance, single pages, archive pages, 404 pages, and you can add your own code snippets right from here in PHP, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript as well. So let's put this to the test. Just one example here. Okay, so let's add some PHP code to change the footer text of our WordPress dashboard. Now, normally you would have to create a child theme and go through tedious steps to achieve such results, whereas here all we have to do is drop the code right here, and that's basically it, and we'll be all done. So let's paste this here. And let's click publish. And now let's put this to the test. So we go back here to our WordPress dashboard. Let's refresh. And now if we scroll down the page, as you can see, we have this message that says, "This is awesome. Thank you for using Nexter," which is basically the line of code that we have here, okay? So this is how this is working, and it's super easy for you to customize your theme using those templates and inserting any code snippets that you want, including hooks as well if you wanted to. So basically that's the same principle. You have HTML before, after, on top, bottom, and in your footer section. So you can add those hooks anywhere you want on your page as well. Next, let me show you another very handy feature as well with Nexter theme, and this is the maintenance page. So this is all built in as well. So for this, we go to Appearance, Customize. In the General section, you have Maintenance Mode. And from here, you can enable it. And here you can select the mode, so maintenance mode or coming soon. And then you can define who has access to the website. So maybe perhaps someone who's logged in will have access to the website. Or maybe you can customize this based on roles as well. And you can select your template. So how does this work? Well, basically you go back to a Nexter builder here. We're going to create a new template together, add new. So let's give it a title, maybe maintenance template. We're going to say this is a page and then singular page, okay? And this will be displayed for all posts, and we're going to publish. And now we can go back to the top and let's edit with Elementor. And from here, you can start designing your page like you would with any other pages. So let's add maybe a heading here. So let's call this maintenance page. Let's center that and let's give it a color. Maybe there you go. And add maybe a bit of margin on top. Let's say maybe 150. So there you go. So let's say this is your landing page. Obviously, you have to put a bit more work and time into it and make it look a bit better. But let's say this is our template now. And we can go back to our settings. And as you can see, we set this up as a maintenance page. And let's select our template. So maintenance template. So let's click publish. And I'm going to open this in an incognito page. So let's paste our URL. And there you go. As you can see, now we have the content of our maintenance page displaying instead of the rest of the content. So there you go, guys. As you can see, Nexter theme is packed with features and is a truly powerful tool to build professional websites. Again, if you liked and learned something new in this video, then feel free to share with your friends, with your Facebook communities, and make sure to hit the like and subscribe button as well, so that YouTube knows that you loved this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in our next video.